Today's adventure will feature a plethora and overload of classic automobiles. Prepare thyselves. So many, in fact, you and I will most likely lose count throughout the course of the day. An inundation of retro goodness from a simpler era, maybe even bring back some of your fond memories. I'll be the first to admit I am not the most knowledgeable when it comes to the subject matter, but it's not going to stop me from attending an event, or at least enjoying the view. How'd you like to cruise down the road in something like this? Definitely a conversation starter. Best thing about all this is all these old models are parked right next to the current modern day ones, just all wedged along the parkway. Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. My game plan today is no real rhyme or reason, just meander up and down the streets of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I'm going to cover some miles, to say the least. I'm inviting you to join me as I start on one end of town, all the way to the other end, cross over the median, and then back up. I'm inviting you to join me. Shall you? I always enjoy the ones with the flames going up and down the side of the body. Wolfie's Speed Shop. Nice. '68 Mustang. I can safely say I could see myself behind the wheel of this. A lot of them with their hoods up and are for sale. This is the right demographic and the right clientele that are willing to purchase. Some low riders tucked away over here. This back portion, pretty cool. Very colorful. Those with golf carts have the right idea. Get around very easily, because traffic through here is no joke. Two fantastic items before me. It's interesting how I'm drawn to the one that is kind of rusted out. I love this type of items. No escaping this. If you were here on vacation not wanting to see classic trucks and cars, you came on the wrong weekend. Big E's Rod Shop presents the Half-Breed. Conglomeration of vintage bikes surround it in the next over parking spots. This one has a very rustic feel to it. Nice. The Sinclair Dinosaur is represented. Back in this era, if you needed a service call, you only needed 4-digit numbers to dial. It's written there on the back, all lined up for passerby and commuters to take a gander at, whether you're walking or driving. The Chevy has a Barbie doll right back there on the bumper. And this thing's a piece of crap. No, seriously. That's what it's designated as, a piece of crap. So low to the ground. I was just noticing those bears over there have a really good view of the action. Fit a lot in this Chevrolet. Plenty of room in the back behind the driver and passenger seats. I'm also noticing some of these are not only available for sale but also for trade. Not the one in the foreground, but the one off in the distance. I don't know who drives that, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was someone by the name of Jeeves. I was going to mention about the trade option. It's not always about the money. Sometimes it's about just changing things up a bit. Someone's taken their mobile out of that spot and replaced it. They were cones. You might recognize a familiar face. on the side of this one, here's Mighty Mouse to the rescue. More flames. This one's also equipped with a set of eyes there above the engine. A 1930 Model A. 32 grand if you're interested. Air conditioning has come a long way since back then. That is what this would have been. A car cooler. A Thermidor car cooler. Mount it right there on the side of the window. The owners are not only here to show off what they have, but also to see what others are cruising around in. They have their chairs set up here right on the main drag. One, the Mercury?
Yeah.
I like the lights here on the back. Kind of futuristic, at least for the time being it was. I could see myself in that, don't you think?
I'd like to see him have a chrome bumper on the back of it to match the front one. Other than that, things look good.
Think I'd look good behind the wheel?
Yep.
Of this?
Yep. It'll work just fine.
Alluding to what I was mentioning earlier about the pre-10-digit dialing, I think that's what that is painted on the side. I'm glad they have these little stands set up. I need something to wet my whistle. It is toasty out here. Costner bus line. Now on the tail it says class of 38, but if you peek more towards the front, it says established 59. Kind of confused. A rather large hat is driving. I'm not pretty, I'm not fast, but if it's fun you want, we could take the whole class. That takes some skill right there. I don't know if I'd be the one backing that thing off. The Old Crow Speed Shop. Over at the gas station, others are filling up. The buy one, get two free deal you're seeing on the sign, it doesn't apply to the cars, just so you know. You get the whole family in this thing. Plenty of room. You can almost see a superhero owning this. I'm starting to build up a little bit of an affinity and admiration for these old service trucks. I like the way they look. Some serious throwbacks. Wow. This one has a New York World's Fair 1940 license plate still on it. All the local motel and hotel parking lots are being taken advantage of. Gotta utilize the space. Got the surfboard strapped on top, ready to go. That is a beautiful thing right there. Very pristine. These chose a very good spot in front of this craft antique store with those relic gas pumps behind them. Look at those lights. Now there's something you don't see every day. That isn't so neat.
Today we're here at Shades of the Past and enjoying all these rods and these old-fashioned cars.
It's Dawn and Will from Yankee in the South on YouTube. Yeah. Have you guys ever been to this event before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Quite a few times,
Give me a little backstory on kind of what it is and how it correlates to Rod Run.
Well, every year for about, they have a spring and they have a fall. This is the fall Rod Run. And this year is about almost 2 weeks long. And all rods from all over the country come here to just gallivant around and show off their toys, as I call them.
But this particular event is only classic cars. Nothing
Yes.
new school. Has to all be
classic.
a certain year
Yeah.
before.
You have rods, you have rat rods, you've got gassers, you got everything you can imagine.
I noticed Dawn trying to show off the new T-shirt swag you got going on there. There you go. You guys even have some. You guys are locals to the area,
To the area,
and you're
yes.
documenting all the goodness of the Smokies. Layin Licks pinstriping. That's a very patriotic bear in the distance. This surfmobile has the door open, a little TV set up on the table, and a Bob's Big Boy on the windshield, on the dashboard I should say. The plate up front says North Carolina Highway Patrol. Off duty, of course. And behind the seat in the back it says Twisted Sister with some little red lights for eyes. Speaking of police cars, there's one on the far right there with its hood up. Oh no, I think the heat's gotten to him. He should have rolled down the window. Got a little breeze through there. It's too late. It's too late. Camp Creek. And in the truck bed, I see some familiar faces. Woody, Buzz, and Jesse from Toy Story, Iron Man, a Stormtrooper, and Batman and the Joker all just hanging around. At first I thought these were teeth on the grill, but they're just flames that kind of made me think it was a mouth. Little pop-up merchandise stand over there with t-shirts. The official event swag. Even though it's pre-Rod Run, some people consider this to be part of Rod Run, but technically it's called Shades of the Past. It's all older cars. At the rear of the Lil Red Express truck, there's a seat, an oversized seat that is not made for relaxing, it's made for shooting hoops. I always enjoy when I see a little soda pop nostalgia. This one in the form of RC Cola, Royal Crown. Starting to see even more t-shirt stands popping up. That one in the shade under the awning of this motel. There's a whole group of the same type. Some Cobras. Are you familiar with those?
Yeah, they're AC Cobras. Yes, like Carl Shelby.
That is one cherry piece of machinery. Oh wait, wild cherry piece of machinery. This is about waist high to me. Very, very short to the ground. Genuine rat. Stated not only on the door, but there's also a skeletized version right there. Oh my goodness. There's a saw going through the roof line. This ain't no Mickey Mouse. That's what it says right there. Something from above enjoys this one. There's a beam of light shining down upon it. And not only what's being hauled is unique, but also the vehicle hauling it is pretty interesting looking as well. A few years ago, I owned a van. Mine, however, was not adorned quite like this one was. Is that a Gremlin?
Yeah, 78 Gremlins.
There you go, 78 Gremlin. I knew that looked familiar. Don't want to tease too much by showing the hoods up on these without taking a gander into a few of them. So here is a little bit of a peek into 3 different versions. Oh, that one's really clean. If you look closely, up on the roofs are the miniature counterparts to these full-size versions. See them up there, teetering on the roof lines? Ran into another local resident. No, not the vehicle, Michael. I'm talking about you, yes. NTL Vlogs, not in the house, but on the street, Give me a rundown of this event. And Becca over here.
Yeah, there you go. Don't forget.
Don't try to hide. Give me a rundown. Not of this particular
event.
Of the event.
This is Shades of the Past. I can't recall, Becca. Is this the one that is mostly 50s and 60s, or is it 50s
It's all
Shades of the Past, and then we got the Grand Rod Run.
prior to the 70s.
There,
And there's
okay.
another one called
Gotcha.
the Grand Rod Run.
Yes.
No,
No?
not anymore. It
That's
used to be the
right.
Grand, but they tore the Grand Hotel down.
So now it's
And
just
it
the
used to
Rod
be-
Run.
Now it's the
running.
Music in the Mountains Rod Run or something like that.
But all of this is like kind of together.
Correct.
Yes.
But this is the pre-Rod Run, Shades of the Past, retro,
Correct.
old school cars.
That's what this is.
Which I'm really into.
And look,
Yeah.
and look at what we see here.
Yes. Perfect example over here. This is awesome.
That's a Southern truck.
That's a Southern truck?
Yeah, look at it. Look, Rum Gully, South Carolina.
That's true. That is about as Southern. That is about as Southern
Can't beat that.
as it gets. Airbrushed on the side, it says her 2 acres. Thanks, honey. Must be a backstory to that. That RV is freaking amazing. Look at that thing. It's got, almost looks like it has eyeballs on the front windshield. And this car on the left is wearing a hat.
Well, you're taking a picture of that ugly truck?
Here you go. Texaco, star and all. Painted right there on the side. Does that say Evil Knievel?
Yeah, AMF, Evil Knievel.
Hey Michael, you think that's ever gone down any sweet slides?
Dude, I could just imagine you taking that down a slide.
I mean, I'm no Evil Knievel, but I put some time in. The old school of rock and roll. Right here. The Pink Panther has made an appearance. That's kind of tough to say. The Pink Panther has made a pink-like panthery appearance. Okay, that's even more difficult. It's pretty cool. You can see one park that is incredible and another one that's passing by that's just as epic. Hillbilly Surf Shop, powered by 100 proof, it states. The Flying Pig Distillery. You've had the best when you see pigs fly. That's probably a true statement. This lawn has been completely taken over. Now, if that is not a party, I don't know what is. R.I.P. In 1927 also written across the front there.
What did you think of that?
Transporting a keg of beer on the bed of this one. Coca-Cola Classic. Beef Creek Customs. Tight Wad Hot Rod Shop. Has a mailbox. Look at that, there's a mailbox right there on the hood. Isn't it interesting that the Amphicar, that's a vehicle and a boat is in front of the Jurassic boat ride? Is your mind blown? The fire truck, the dog, as I pan over here, the Warden, check that out. Possum Farm, nice. Smoking Joe's Bad Medicine. Last thing you want when you're given a prescription is one that is not good. You don't want bad medicine. The sun is beginning to set. One thing's for sure, much easier to walk than attempt to drive. Look at the traffic. That's going to do it for today. If you're new here, please subscribe. By doing so, helps keep you in the loop and up to date on future uploads here on this channel. Take it a step further and ring that notification bell. And if you enjoyed this particular episode, give it a big thumbs up. It lets me know you care. I'm now under the road I was walking on. 3.5 up one side, switched over 3.5 back. And to be honest, I probably only covered 1/100th of the automobiles, the cars, the trucks, the other type of items that fall into that category. But I think you could probably get a good example of what this event was all about. Whew! Put some miles in. Got my cardio. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is over. Tired of hoofing it. Should just order a taxi. Taxi!